On a crisp autumn day, October 25, 1415, two armies collided near the village of Agincourt in northern France. The air was thick with tension as soldiers on both sides prepared for what would become one of the most famous battles in history. This was no ordinary skirmish. It was a clash of crowns, a pivotal battle in the 100 Years' War between England and France. The stakes were incredibly high, with both nations vying for dominance and control over vast territories. The English, led by the young and determined King Henry V, were outnumbered and exhausted from a long and grueling campaign. Their spirits, however, were far from broken. Henry's leadership and the morale of his troops would be put to the ultimate test. Facing them, the French army boasted seemingly insurmountable numbers and the confidence of chivalry. They were well-rested, well-equipped, and ready to crush the English forces once and for all, believing victory was within their grasp. What transpired that day would forever be etched in the annals of history. The clash was brutal and relentless, with both sides fighting with unmatched ferocity and courage. The Battle of Agincourt, against all odds, became an astonishing English victory. It was a testament to tactical ingenuity, the devastating power of the longbow, and the sheer determination and resilience of Henry's forces. The English archers played a crucial role, their arrows raining down on the French with deadly precision. This decisive clash had far-reaching consequences, reshaping the political landscape of Europe and solidifying England's claim to the French throne. The victory at Agincourt not only boosted English morale, but also altered the course of the 100 Years' War, leaving an indelible mark on history. The roots of the 100 Years' War were tangled in a web of territorial disputes, economic rivalries, and dynastic ambitions. England's Edward III, grandson of France's Philip IV, laid claim to the French throne, a claim disputed by the French. This sparked decades of conflict. By 1415, France was politically fractured, weakened by internal divisions and previous defeats at the hands of the English. Henry V, the shrewd and ambitious king, seized this opportunity to press his claim to the French crown. Landing in Normandy, Henry aimed to capture key French ports and consolidate his position. The French, initially slow to respond to Henry's invasion, eventually assembled a large army to confront the English. They believed their superior numbers, combined with the prowess of their heavily armored knights, would guarantee victory. Little did they know, the muddy fields of Agincourt held a very different fate. The English army, though significantly outnumbered, was composed of highly disciplined archers and infantry. Henry's strategic use of longbowmen, who could unleash a deadly hail of arrows, would prove crucial. The terrain of Agincourt, with its narrow, muddy field, played into the hands of the English. The French knights, weighed down by their heavy armor, struggled to advance through the thick mud. As they became bogged down, they were easy targets for the English archers. The battle that ensued was brutal and chaotic, with the English forces using their agility and tactical advantage to devastating effect. Henry V's leadership and the resilience of his troops turned what seemed like an inevitable defeat into a legendary victory. The Battle of Agincourt would go down in history as a testament to the power of strategy, determination, and the unpredictable nature of warfare. The two armies faced each other across a narrow, recently plowed field, their banners fluttering in the wind, signaling the impending clash. Hemmed in by dense woodlands, the battlefield was a confined space, adding to the tension and anticipation of the soldiers. Heavy rain had turned the ground into a muddy quagmire, hindering the movement of the heavily armored French knights. Their once proud and gleaming armor now caked in mud, they struggled to maintain their footing. The English, positioned defensively between the woods, relied heavily on their longbowmen. These skilled archers, capable of firing deadly volleys of arrows, were the backbone of the English defense. As the French advanced, hampered by the mud and constricted terrain, they were met with a devastating hail of English arrows. The sky darkened with the sheer number of arrows, each one finding its mark with deadly precision. The longbowmen, firing from behind a protective barrier of sharpened stakes, decimated the French ranks. The stakes provided a formidable defense, ensuring the archers could continue their relentless assault. Wave after wave of French knights fell, their armor offering little protection against the penetrating power of the English longbows. The once formidable knights were reduced to mere obstacles on the battlefield. The French attack faltered, their formations disintegrating into chaos. The once organized ranks were now a scene of confusion and panic. Seizing the moment, the English launched a counterattack. With a fierce battle cry, they surged forward, their spirits lifted by the sight of the disarrayed enemy. Armed with swords, axes and maces, they hacked their way through the disorganized French, turning the tide of battle decisively in their favor. The clash of steel and the cries of the wounded filled the air, marking the final moments of the battle.